So hello everyone. So today we will see maybe a simple how to create a simple JavaScript Java server and then a client and then create show some data, getting the data from a data source and storing it in a database and how to see that. So let me start by sharing my screen. So okay, so I have a folder called in the Dropbox itself. Okay, so you're able to see my screen, right? Hello, you're able to see my
Yes,
screen.
sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
So there are a lot of
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have this particular document, what you call a folder, and in this we are able to see some things. So, for example, if I take this folder, so the you see PVP, SIT, RVR, JC, these are all some folders, right? So if I look at the modified, so we can see right now 1444, 1443. That means these things are getting modified right now. Now, one of the things, if I open, so I can see text files like this. So this is like 26 January 2020. Now, if I simply select on sort by modified, so at the top, I'll get 27th October 2020. So which is today's date, right? So 26th October is yesterday, 25th October is day before yesterday, and so on. So instead of disturbing today's date, what I'll do, I'll just open the yesterday's file. When you open that file, you will see a lot of text like this. Okay, so let me. I think word wrap is there. So let me figure out how to remove the word wrap or text wrap. So on the screen now you are able to see a lot of data. So if you go to the top, here you can see 26/10/2020, that is 26 October 2020, 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. Then next line is 1 minute, next line is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and so on. Like that, every minute of the day, I am having some data coming in. Okay. Now, if I go almost to the bottom of this, so here you can see 2020, October 26, 23:59. That means this is the last minute of the day. And here you can see 1438, actually 1444. So somewhere there might be one or two time steps missing, but it's okay. It's just a missing data. We can always do that. But the point I'm trying to say is that I'm having this data in my Dropbox folder. Okay? Now the question is, how did this data come in my Dropbox? So the answer is in a location where there is this meter is there. There we are collecting the data and storing it in the local folder, and we are synchronizing that with the Dropbox. And on my system, in which I am right now operating, in that also I have this Dropbox account, and I am using the same username and password. I am creating a Dropbox folder so that whenever any changes are made in one file, automatically it gets updated into my system. So that is how I am transmitting data from remote location to this. Like, in fact, if you look at this data, whatever this data is you are seeing on the screen is almost like close to 400 kilometers from where I am sitting. So from that far away, I am getting real-time data. In fact, let's open today's file, that is 27th October. So now if I go to the last line in this file, so I can see 1447 is the time. So right now the time itself is 1447. So we are getting minute by minute data on this particular thing. But what is this data? Yeah. So before I go into it, any questions on this? Did you understand what I explained so far right now? Yeah. Any doubts? Any questions? Okay, I think I'll just use this. I think I have to make it. Yeah, so you're able to see my screen, right? So far what I have described is that, let me make a drawing. So this is a particular location. Let's say it's a house. In this house, we have a meter. From that meter, we are reading data. And then there is a microcontroller like a Arduino or whatever, Raspberry Pi, whatever. From here, the data is uploaded to cloud. That is the Dropbox. And then on the other side, we have this server system. Okay, so it's like that. So using the same login ID and password, I am able to get the data up to date every minute to this particular machine. Okay. Now, what is the next step I want to do is that there is a user and user has a phone. So using this phone, user will point to a certain website. So there is this is again the cloud or the internet or whatever. So this particular user will point to a particular URL. So now you visit that URL, then this particular, we need to do some kind of implementation of the server here such that the data is shown on this particular page. And then finally this data which comes from the house should take a round trip and then get displayed on the screen. Okay. So is that explanation okay? Did you get what I'm saying? So you need to kind of respond so that I will know that you are following.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me see. Actually, you need to excuse me for this. Actually, I did not kind of prepare much advance for this because I wanted to, not in an interactive session, I wanted to make a separate session. But then anyway, let's go ahead and then see how it goes. So, I'll explain what I'm doing. Just a minute. Just a minute. So the new data is loaded in this. Now, if you go down, now the data is 1452. Earlier it was 1447. Now, in the last 5-6 minutes, some more data has been loaded into this. Okay. I would like to now show you the database side of it. Okay. So you're able to see my screen, right? Yeah. So what you're seeing on the screen is something like this. Okay. On the left, it is written PHP my admin. Okay. So PHP my admin is a particular tool written in PHP language, and you can administrate a MySQL database using this PHP my admin. So in that, if you see, we are having one table called sensor readings, and then if I open, I am having a lot of columns in that. So these are all the columns that are there in that particular table called sensor readings. Now, what are the columns? This is anyway, first one is new column. So first column is average current. Next column is average voltage. Basically, these are arranged in alphabetical order, but it can be in any order. Average voltage, and then block. Block means which building it is. So here we have A block, B block, and C block, like that. Block type, and then active power in B phase, current in B phase, voltage in B phase. Similarly, you will find active power in R phase, current in R phase, voltage in R phase. You will find meter number, frequency, date, ID, so time insert, that means time of inserting, total active power, total power factor, and so on, like this. So this is all the parameters we are reading from particular meter, and every minute we are reading this data. So here you can see, for example, on the right, I can see some sample data. So R phase voltage is 240.88, Y phase is like this, B phase is like this. So like this, using this particular tool called PHP MyAdmin, I am able to collect the data in one place, and I am able to see the database. Okay, so any questions as of now? Any questions?
No, sir. No, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
is this sample data or real-time data which we are inserting in?
Okay, so good. So what I'm showing, is it actually real-time data? So let us see. So at the top, see, there is a browse is there. Okay, so browse means you're just browsing, right? You're just seeing the what is the sample, whatever, you know. So there are so many rows actually. So let me count. This is units, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and 14 million. So there are 14 million records in this particular database. 14 million records, or 1.4 crore records in this particular table. And if I go to edit, so there is a SQL tab. Select everything. Star means everything. So now what I'm showing is the SQL query. Select everything from sensor reading, order by date. Okay. So here I will say DESC. That means descending. Oh, sorry. Let's try. I remember it is descending. So let's see. And then limit 10. Okay. So I'm giving some query to the database. Now I'll try to run that query. Okay. So I have to simply say go. So let's see. So I got some data. Some error message also came. So let's see. I'm interested in looking at the timestamp actually. So here you can see 27th October 2020, 14:57. This is actually the real time. Okay. So because I am ordering by date and giving in descending order, so I am getting the data. Okay. So this is the data coming from different these things. Now there is a meter number also. So I can query for a particular meter number. Okay. So for example, let's say I am interested in this particular meter. So let me go back. So this particular meter, A block normal panel 101. Okay. So this particular meter 101 actually refers to the air conditioning system. Okay. So I am interested in only 101. Okay. So then what I should do? Again, I go back to my query. So these are the columns are there. See, select everything from sensor reading where, let me say, meter number. Okay, I will just meter number is equal to 101. Okay, and then I will give order by date. Date will also have timestamp actually, and DESC, descending order, and then limit 40. Okay, so it will show only 40 readings, last 40 readings. Okay, so now if I say go, so I'm waiting for the results to come, and you got the results like this. So you here about 40 are there. Now if I go to the right, the meter number is always 101. Okay. But on here you see A block and C block. I think there's again an issue. There are two meters with the same number 101. So that's why we are interested in block A meter. So if I go, there is one more column called block. So I think that also I will add to the query. So I can also go back and then say edit the same query. So I have given where. So I'll add an and here, okay, and block equal to block A. I believe it is capital B. So let us see. So you can build a query like this, and then some error has come. You have an error.
So there is a dot before where.
Okay, before sensor readings. Good.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for correction. So now if I again go, so I think some of you might have worked on databases before. So I'm getting the data now. 40 records I'm getting. Query took 5 seconds, but I'm able to get the data, sensor reading from meter. So this is the A block meters. Now if I want to plot the some power, so if I go to the one of the column is the, if I go to the right, total active power is one of the column. So there is a feature, I think if I go down, display chart is there. So this is a tool, PHP MySQL. It will allow you to display a chart. So before that, I will copy this query. So I'll just say copy, and then I'll create a new document. And in this new document, I'll paste the query. So that it is for our record. Now I go back to this particular thing. Okay, so let's re-enter the same query again. Now I come down and then say display chart. Okay. Some error keeps coming, so let's still keep going. Series column. Chart title, line chart, x-axis I want date, and y-axis. So basically what I want to do is I want to plot the time versus power. But anyway, I think this looks like it's creating some problem, but as it is, you can see there's some kind of plotting is also there. So you can do that. You can actually export data to any other software, and also you can do that. So now if I say export, and then here if I select let's say CSV, and then if I say go, so then if I save it, oh, it's a huge file. Okay, I think I have to just export only less number of rows. I think our query was wrong. So I again go back to query. So I just want to plot and show actually. I think still it is processing because, so I'll just open one more. So in short, what I'm saying is for building different types of reports, you should have the knowledge of this MySQL. So how to give a MySQL query? What are the facilities available in querying? So that I wanted to just explain now. But apparently there is so because we had given a downloading of a large data, actually I did not limit the number of rows. So there were 14 million rows. So I think it started downloading all those rows. That's why reason the server became busy and it's not responding. So anyway, so I think we already had the data. So let me take this data. Let me go to the almost bottom. There is only 1 meter here. So let's take time like this from 12 noon. Copy this and then let's try to make some plot. Okay, so I'm opening a new sheet. So here I'll paste this data. So whatever raw data I have that I'm pasting, and then data, you have split text to columns, and automatically the data is split text to columns. So insert one row above. So let's try to interpret what these things are. So here 428, 429, 425 and 431. So these are all like the first one may be average voltage and the other three are this one. So phase voltages, V, AVG, and then V of R phase, voltage of R phase, voltage of Y phase, and voltage of B phase. So I got three phase voltages here. Then these are line voltages. These are phase voltages, and then I can say V average LL, line to line average voltage. So this is VRY, VYB, and then VBR. So after the voltages, the next one I think is currents. So we have I R phase current, I Y phase current, I B phase current, and then I average current. So let's plot the currents. So insert chart. So I selected the 3 columns related to currents, and then I'm plotting them. Okay? So something like this you are able to see. Okay? So x-axis. So x-axis, let me select a range. Is the first one, I think. So I'm selecting the x-axis as the time. So let's look at the plot. Where is the plot? Yeah, so here it is. So on the x-axis, now you can see time also. So you can see 3 colors, right? Blue color, red color, and yellow color. So these are the 3-phase currents, RYB 3-phase currents. Luckily, the colors are also matching because Google also uses these colors to plot. Okay? So you can immediately see some patterns in the currents. Okay? So this is 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. So that means last 3 hours data we are able to plot. We can plot last any hours data because we have data. So you can see the patterns in the particular this thing. So what is this data pertaining to? As I mentioned, this data is pertaining to air conditioning system. So an air conditioning system, it operates, it's taking some current for some time, then again it is coming down. So it's like you can see a cyclic pattern in the air conditioning system data. So that is in blue phase, red phase, and yellow phase. So all 3 phases not having equal current, although it is supposed to have equal current, but anyway, so the currents are varying in this range. Okay? And after 1 p.m., you will see that there is some kind of a 81 amperes going to 98 amperes within matter of 2 minutes or so. So here is where they kind of increase the output of the air conditioning system for the building. So we can see this kind of pattern. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is the database is available to you. Okay, once the database is available to you, you can look at the database. So and you can query the database, and you can after querying the database, you can export the data and you can plot the data, and you can understand the this thing. So this is a situation of I'll keep a new sheet. I'll just cut this from here, Control X, and then I want to paste it here. So this is the plot of currents, right? So I'll go back to my this thing. Okay, this is still there. That doesn't matter. So I can always edit this thing, data for this particular thing. So shall I now look at the voltages? Or let's look at the frequency signal. See, frequency is supposed to be 50 hertz, right? But our frequency kind of not strictly maintained in 50, which is not actually a flaw, it is actually a feature in the Indian power grid. So I want to just plot this. I go for chart inserting. Yeah, so more or less the frequency is fairly stable. So here you can see not much of variation. In fact, now if I modify the axis and then say the minimum value is 49 and the maximum value is 51, or let's say 50.5. So you can see the variations in the frequency like this. So frequency is not varying hugely, so but there is some kind of variation. So whatever is the data that you have, you can analyze like this by plotting. Not only plotting, you can do various other things also. So here, what is one of the most important skill required is how to query the database. Okay. So I'll again pause for a while. Any questions you have so far, whatever I explained? Any questions based on what I explained?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's do some more queries. So again, for this particular meter, that is meter number 101. So I'll go for edit. So what was this first query regarding? Let me. I'll use Courier new font for this. And where is the magnification? So select everything from sensor readings where meter number is this and block is this, and order by date and distance. So this one is see the not only the consumption, the entire data of HVAC meter in A block. For last 40 minutes or 40 timestamps, because I am limiting only 40. Now I want to find out in a given course of day, what is the peak value of HVAC? So for example, here I can say, what is the peak power consumption of HVAC system? So can you suggest me what kind of query I should write? So those who know this whatever MySQL, can you suggest me what is the peak power consumption? See, in fact, can you suggest the questions? Okay, so what all questions we can ask? Assuming that you have the data of this, what are the questions you can ask? So for example, daily energy consumption of HVAC system, right? This could be one question one can ask, right? Anything else? Remember, we are also having power factor measurement. What is the power factor, right? Any other questions like this, we'll come back. But now your task is, can someone give the query for this? What is the peak power consumption of HVAC system? What is the query for this? So,
sir, we can use
yeah.
Sir, we can use max function here to find the peak power.
Okay, so can you see? I am pasting the old whatever the earlier query. So here, what I should do?
Sir, instead of star, we can write select
max. Okay, instead of star, I'll say max. So I'm selecting the max. Okay, and then yes, max of what?
Max of column name.
I'll go down and then select active power. So the maximum active power I'm selecting from this where meter reader and all these things. Now it could be the maximum in the entire history. Since 2019 we are collecting data. So I can also specify when was the last this. Yeah. So go ahead. You are telling something. What was that? Who was
sir,
speaking?
We can, sir, Vipul.
Yeah, Vipul.
Yes. Sir, we can curtail that part after where clause.
No. So this one I want because this query I want only for the, see, because all the meters are in the same table.
Okay.
See, for example, meter 101, there might be meter 50 or meter 27. We may get the data for that particular meter, so which we don't want. So I only want the data of this particular, and then 101 also 2 meters are there, so that's why I have to add this also. Anyway, so let's go with it.
Yes.
And see what there's a huge amount of data available actually. Since I was showing you 14 million readings are there in this particular database. Okay. So we got the answer. So the total active power is 9.9995. So something like this, 9.99 kilowatts is showing the total active power. So like this thing we can say. So, but then which date it has appeared, this has appeared, when it has appeared, how do you know that?
Sir, then we can also modify the query again. So
Okay.
Select star.
Okay, so I want to select everything.
Select star from sensor readings.
Okay, so based on this, you want to give it like another condition, right?
Yes, sir.
So I want to select everything from sensor reading where total active power equal to,
right? Total active power equal to max of.
So again, this whole thing will come in a bracket, right?
Total.
And I have to give here, right?
Sir, one more select will be required before max.
What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nothing, sir. One more select will be required before max.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So first the inner query will identify whatever is the maximum value, and then the outer query will bring that.
Yes.
So let's see if required. Otherwise, we'll add this also. I think this also needs to be added. Okay, so this whole thing is 1. And anyway, first I'll do without this. So again, it is doing a query once again. So again, since we are having more than 1 crore records in this database, it is taking time to respond. Normally, it will come back in fraction of seconds. So meanwhile, so we got the answer. 15 seconds it took to find the thing, and there are multiple things, but then we are interested in this meter number 1. So the thing happened on 11th June 2019 in the afternoon 3:41. So it is because the data is in the 2019 year. Okay? So in that year, the maximum was reached. Okay? So that was the timestamp that we are getting. So 9.995, and the other records also matching this. So I hope you got some idea.
Yes, sir.
So again, we can include the condition that the number should be 101 and all, but anyway, for the time being, we'll not worry about it. So I'll take this query, and then I go back here and then paste this query. What is the peak power consumption of HVAC system, and when it was. Okay. Now, what is the daily energy consumption of HVAC system? So how do you know this energy consumption? So for this we got the answer. The answer was like 9.995 kilowatt, something like that we got, right? So now if I go back and look at the structure, so one of the columns we are having cumulative energy in kilowatt hour. So what is the cumulative energy? That means the energy is keep on accumulating or cumulating. So if I look at the data on one day, and then if I again look at the data on the other day, then you will get it. So let me try that. So the energy at the end of the date and the energy at the beginning of the date that I want. So what I can do, I can go back to SQL and go back to the query. So I'll copy this query. Select everything from sensor readings where meter number is 101 and block A this thing. Okay, so instead of selecting everything, I want to select the this value, that is energy value. Where is it? Cumulative energy. Now I want the time, right? Date equal to, actually it will also include time because it's a date time thing. 2020-20. I'm taking 25th of October. So month is 10, October is 25. And then I'm taking the data at 23:59:00, hoping that this data will be available. So let us see. Just I want to know what is the cumulative energy at 23:59. So let us see.
So one and is required there, and clause.
Okay.
After
So one more and, right? Correct.
Yes.
Good. So now if I say go, so hopefully we'll get the energy at the end of the day, right? There might be other ways of doing it, but I think it's an empty set. So I think there might not be a data with this particular timestamp. Okay, so I think I can always say instead of equal to, I can say less than, edit inline. See, sometimes the data at this timestamp may be missing. Okay? So less than this, order by 1. No, order by, no need to order, just limit 1. So I just want only one data point which is below. So here I am getting 787559. So I think I will also put the date here so that I can know what is the date. So here you can see 2919 like this, and then like this there is one particular this thing. No, I think this is wrong. That it should be like this. So it is, I have to say order by descending. Because I want to know what is the latest data. Order by I have to give the column again. Order by date. Limit 1. So if I give this kind of query, So I'm getting 2510 2020 2358. Okay, so 2358 27. So slightly before that I got this data. So now what I will do, the cumulative energy is 926042. Okay. Now again I'll just copy this number. So let's say I go to a new sheet. So at the end of 25th October, energy reading is this one. Okay. So this is in kilowatt hour. Okay. Now again I can go for again edit and do one more query. So where I'll keep 26 and then I'll say go. So just I changed the date, nothing else. Now I got the latest data of 2358 23 seconds. So if this is the data, so I just copy it. Now I can paste it. So at the end of 26th October, my energy reading stands at 926441. At the beginning, it's like that. So the difference will tell me the consumption. So I'll subtract the smaller number from bigger number. So 399 units are consumed by the HVAC system on 26th actually. So like this, you can know the data. Yeah. So those who are experts, do you know how to do this subtraction in the query itself? You understood this, right? Did anybody have any doubt on this query? Daily energy on 26th October, that is yesterday, it was 399. So what happens if I give today's query? So for example, at the end of, so I'll move this here. Daily energy. So right now the time is only 15:31. So now if I go back and then edit this query again and look at the 27th data, which is, so right now today is 27th, right? Just confirming. So if I say go, so I'm getting right now what is the energy reading, the latest, because the other records have not yet installed. So as of 15:30, 926795. Okay. So this is 27th October as of 15:30. So how do you get the difference? Same formula. So 354. So approximately daily it consumes 400 units of energy, the HVAC system. And so far it has, because today still time is there, until evening it will run. So far 354 units have been consumed. So any questions? Can you suggest any better query to do this?
Sir, we can highlight some of the columns in which the frequency is not touching 50 hertz exactly, or if it is deviating from 50 hertz.
Okay. So that is what identifying. Okay, so let's write it. By the way, so if I go back here, is this the query? Date, cumulative energy. Okay. So I'll copy this. Strictly speaking, this is not daily this thing. So what is the daily energy consumption? Before this, I will say what is the energy reading. Reading of HVAC system at the end of a particular day. So select date, cumulative energy, sensor readings. Okay, so this is at the end of 27th, right? So, but as of now, so order by date and descending. Okay, so I made it this thing. Now, how to get daily energy? So, can just now somebody was I think Vipul only. He was telling about when did the frequency go beyond go less than 50 hertz or something like this. So I can identify when it was below 50, things like that. Over voltages, under voltages also we can do. Okay. So but anyway, I'll go back here. Yeah. So yeah. So can you suggest a better query, a smaller what you call, instead of this? Here what we are doing is at the end of one day I'm taking, next day I'm taking two queries I'm taking and subtracting outside. Can we subtract it right away here itself in the query
Yes,
itself?
sir.
So
Yes,
how
sir.
do you do that?
Sir, we can write select date, comma, difference of cumulative energy. So we can use diff function here, diff.
Okay. So, okay, let me see. I'm also not that much expert in all these things. So let's see the syntax. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Deep, and I'm doing this because for those who don't know MySQL, they can actually learn on these things in MySQL. So instead, I want to just find the difference. Okay, date diff is there. Okay, diff,
Okay.
date diff. I think it's only diff function is only for
Yes, sir.
find the difference between two numbers. Select number A minus number B as spread from the table. So we can give a query like this. Looks like.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
we
sir.
don't
This
want
is
in the same this thing. We want two different datas, right? But I think
sir.
let's try like this.
Sir,
So
actually, it
what?
will use
Huh?
multiple subqueries, sir.
What?
Multiple subqueries will be required in this case.
So I'm doing this entire one brackets. So this is
Yes,
one query. So this will be the data on energy reading on 27th, and this is the energy reading on 26th. Okay, so
yes, sir.
one day before, and then in between I put a minus sign, and then I will again say select. So I'll open bracket and end bracket, and at the top I will say once again select. So let's see whether this will work. So again, I think this date I have to remove, because for subtracting two things inside date should not be, two columns should not be there. So now if I go, say go, so reading at the end of 27th and reading at the end of 26th, both will be taken and subtracted. So I think it's taking time to calculate. At least there are no errors in my query. I think by using minus it is fine. Yeah, so yes, we got the result, but then unfortunately 0 rows. Okay, so I think there is some problem with minus sign using like this. So let's just test only this one. So I'm getting 926,808. This one is coming correct. So I'll just say 9268. So I'll just say again edit. So I'll say minus minus 10,000 or minus 1,000 I'll do. Let's see if this minus sign works. So I'm just subtracting a number from that. So again 0 rows. I think there's a problem with this 1,000. So let's say 1,500 minus 1,000. So let's see if this works. So little bit of trial and error is needed. You don't need to know entire. I think this is the problem. So this itself is not working. So I think whatever this thing is there, that is not working. So let's. But anyway, you can always use Python to write these kind of things. Okay. Shall we try that? So you
Yes,
need,
sir. Sir, we can also write the count there. Select count of column name.
Okay. So, but by counting, what we can achieve?
Sir, at least we will know how many columns are there, which are giving a difference of above 100 or 1000 watts something.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, so we can suggest that, but at least we address this thing by let's say what is the energy consumption at the end of a particular day. So daily energy consumption. So calculate energy, not calculate, actually query. At the end of each day and subtract. So then you can know what is the energy consumption. Okay, so yeah, so what else? So what else we can try on this particular database? Again, if you look at the data, so I think we were talking about power factor, right? Total power factor. So let's see. So first I will simply, I did not write it here, right, anywhere. So first I'll go to SQL again. Total power factor less than 0.3. So very poor power factor I want to try. Okay, so I just want to. So irrespective of all these things, okay, so then order by descending and limit 10. Okay, so I just want only 10 solutions. This one will not be there. So this where condition applies to this. You have an error.
Order by column name.
Order by column name. Order by total power factor. Or maybe order by time value. So now if I say go, so the query is being executed. So here this system will find the meters with poor power factor. Okay, so now if I go back to the solution, So look at the power factor. Where is the power factor? Yeah. So minus 0.98, minus 0.84. Okay. So this, first of all, power factor will not be negative. So it is giving minus means it's some kind of data itself is wrong. So let's avoid that negative. So I'll go back to SQL. No, I go to my previous query. So did I lose my query? Auto saved query. Yeah. So here power factor less than 0.3 and greater than. So I can give like this between a certain range. So let's say 0.2 and then 0.7, something like this. Sorry. Or 0.5. So let's see if the system throws any result. So what happens is, in other words, what you're doing, we are collecting data and we are let it be A and D. What is the problem? I think something issue with the quotation. Let's see. Go. Yeah, so the query is correct now. See, and now I'm searching for power factors between 0.2 and 0.5. Okay, so again, so I'm dominantly getting only 1 meter, meter number 233. Okay, and meter 217 also came. So let's see what these things are. So if I go to the right, so here you can see the power factor is 0.4, 0.4, 0.39. So now I can identify that a particular meter is there. So, but then the active power is very less. I mean, this is in kilowatts. So it is about 200 watts, something like that. So anyway, at least I came to know. So out of the thousands and millions of data, I'm able to, of course, I only listed, oh, how many came? So I think 10 came. So, but there might be more also. But anyway, so like this we can find out, and we can also find out which date this thing happened. So I think the timestamp is also wrong. So anyway, so we can again give that kind of query. So I'm just again selecting this. So if I paste it here, so here I can write which meters have poor power factor. So again, from that we can find out like this. So is it making sense? So what is the overall structure that we are following is that. So again, let me go back to my drawing. So from Dropbox, we are getting the data. Now this part, sending the data on a mobile device to the user, that we did not do. But here, what we are doing is I am having a database. Okay, so this database is DB. So in this database, with a proper structure, you are able to store the data. So here, what we'll call this one is called insert. So there some kind of insert query should go, and the data from the Dropbox has to be inserted into the database. And in return, there will be one more program which will query. Q I am saying, and the query will reply with the results. So this is the thing. Just a minute, I got some visitors. Hello. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. So I was drawing this, right? So you give a query and you get a result. Now we can, if you have a collection of queries, let's say you want a certain query one, query two, query three, like this. You have, let's say, query 80. So these 80 queries will generate 80 types of data, which you can again make into reports, make a plot or something like that. So the more query capability you have, the better results or outputs you can generate. So that is the point what I'm saying. So while you are learning these things, try to see some videos on how to query a database. So this is called SQL, structured query language. So learn this SQL and then try some queries. So in later classes, I can actually give access for you to look at this data also and do that. See, this particular meter 233 has what? It has a power is very less, right? The power is only 0.24 and all. So if you want to find out the meters which have more power and bad frequency, so that also again you can go for editing the query, and here you can add. So I can say and. So here I can say total active power, let's say greater than 3. Okay, so more than 3 kilowatt should be the load. And then let's see what happens now. See, sometimes we may not find any records, but let's see. That if I don't get any results, okay, I got the results. So only 9 results have come. Out of 14 million rows, I got only 9 rows out of 10. So, and it is showing me meter number 14 is the one of the dangerous one, and I mean the low power factor one, meter number 101 and meter 231. So let me go back and look at the time also. Okay, so again this appears to be okay. So time is September 3rd, like this. So where the power factor was only 0.49 and even 0.33, 0.34 for the other things, and the power active power was 3, 4, 4, 6, something like this. So here is where I have to kind of investigate. Okay, so now I can go and look at what is this A block emergency panel number 14. Why the power factor is less in that? So like this, I can generate this particular report like this. Okay, so is the time date same? No, it is not same. This is 9th August, 27th August, 26th August, 25th August, 31st July, 27th June, and 10th June. Okay, so different dates. Particular date, particular time, there is a problem, and then it is doing like this. So I can exactly pinpoint some kind of events that are happening at this time. So the more queries you write, the better you will be at detecting the events like this. So again, so did that? I hope this session was useful. I'm just about to conclude, maybe next 5 minutes. So any questions or any doubts you have so far, whatever I have explained?
Sir, only one thing just I was asking.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
any way that whatever the output is there after query, we can
Yep.
put in some folder or somewhere so that later time we can refer that one rather than means writing in Excel by our own means automatically whatever is there that we can.
Yes, so you can do that. So right now, what we are doing, I think, let me show you some sample. So actually, I wanted to do that also. So let's see. So here we have a Python program. Okay, this Python program will connect to the database and see, you can see select date from sensor reading where date is greater than this thing. All these things it is selecting. Okay. So finally, there are multiple queries. You see query 1, query 2, query 4, multiple queries you can send. And finally here, I can prepare a subject line, consumption of a block, and I can do all these things. And then I can finally like this, and I can finally send the email. Okay, so now I'll show you the email also. I go back to my email, this thing. So the question which just now Sushant asked is how to store the result of a query. So need not be only in a, you can plot that. We can also send an email. You can prepare a PDF. You can prepare a report. You can store and all these things. So energy consumption. Let me go back to the code. IITH academic block. So here you can see, for example, this one. Okay. So this is the email automatically generated email with this particular Python program. So this Python program automatically runs every night. I think I'll show you the time also. So you can see here 1 a.m. Okay. So the time is 1 a.m. Okay. So again today night at 1 a.m. I'll get one more email. Okay. So there the data will be, I think I might have already got that. So anyway, so like this at 1 a.m. So here what it's saying, date, it is showing date, consumption for the day 4643, peak demand at what time, peak time, or peak demand is 237 kilowatt, what is the peak time, HVAC on time, HVAC off time, total consumption of HVAC system 379 kilowatt hour. See, sometime back what we calculated, 399 we calculated, right? So this is 379 for 25th October. Now if I once again go back, I think I might have, yeah, this is 26. Now here you can see 399. So just now we calculated, right? You remember sometime back we calculated. So 399 kilowatt hour it can show. So like this, we can generate an email. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
So I can send that. So instead of one single query at one time, I can write a Python program which will connect to the database. And after connecting to the database, it will query the database. The answers will be stored in Python. Then from there, I can create the text message and I can send the automatic email and like that.
Yes, I mean query language we will write in Python itself, isn't it? Means
yes.
Rather than in
SQL,
directly we will write here.
That's correct. So if you learn query language, then you will be able to query. If you learn query language and Python both, if you learn, then you will be able to query in an automated way through Python. So like that.
Yes.
So that is the one this thing.
Yes.
So any other questions? So I actually get this mail every day. I get this. So from not only this mail, I get mail from other places also. So something like, for example, I want to show something. This one I will show. So this is where I stay, FT2 12B2. This is my residence. And on 24th October, the reading was 3820. And on 23rd October, the reading was 3814. So my consumption on that particular day was 5.94. So this is my daily energy consumption. So I get a mail at every night 1:15 a.m. I'll get a report of that day what is the energy consumption in my house where I'm staying. So that is one report. And the other example I get is something like this, not this. So here is a GNIT's daily energy consumption report. Here we kind of learned a little bit of what you call HTML. Okay? So by learning a little bit of HTML designing, so we made it in a little bit more attractive way, where we are able to show the bar plot of the data. So this is the GNITS is one campus, their daily energy consumption report for 19th October. So different parts of the building and with different parts of the campus, what is the energy consumption and what is the bar plot of it. So again, in order for this to be achieved, definitely you should learn MySQL for querying for your required data. You should learn Python for writing the programmatically querying the data, and you should learn HTML for generating an email in this way, so that it looks easy to see. Okay? So it looks attractive. So yeah, so any questions? So every day I get this kind of mails. This is another day. So any questions you have?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, can we get access to the sample data in order to query, in order to trigger any query?
So I'll try to provide the access to sample data maybe in 1 or 2 days.
Yes,
I'll give all the instructions in the email. So this is only for the students who are registered for this. So and you can try doing something. I'll send you how to do. So what eventually what I will tell is, so now if there is a logout here, right? So if you log out, then there will be a login. So username and password, okay, right? So here root means it has all the access. Instead of that, I'll give you a different username and password. But then again, this particular link, it is only accessible within the campus. So we'll try to provide some kind of thing where you can access outside the campus, and then with the particular user ID and password, you will be able to get this view. And once this view comes on the left, you will have different tables, and you can we'll try to provide the whatever data used from our meters, and then you can go for query. And once you query, you can go for export, and then you can export different formats. You can export XML, CSV, PDF. So all these formats you can export the data. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So any other question?
Sir, whatever the daily units you get in 1 o'clock, so monthly, whether you have seen adding those all things is equal to the TSS-PTCL total number of units, just for calculation.
Okay,
kind of thing.
Good. So what you are asking is at the entire institute level. Okay, so let me open one slide and show you. I'm going for a particular slide. Yeah. So if you look at the electrical distribution system in our campus, so at the top we have 33 kV line. Then there is down we have 2 transformers. Okay. So and then it is stepped down to 11 kV, and 11 kV. All these blue colored lines are 11 kV underground cables. These underground cables forms the distribution system in our IIT campus. And then these green dots which are there is where we installed our meters. Now at the top corner there is this box here, right? At the top corner you can see one box. That is the meter which is used for billing the entire institute. So the entire institute will be billed by this. Okay. Now if this is the input and this whole thing is the output, so if I add all of these meters at a particular time, then it should all add to the total power here. Or you can also do it in the energy wise. If you add the daily energy of all of this, that should match the daily energy of the grid. Then we can identify that yes, there is no theft or anything like that. In between there is a solar plant also. So that part we have not yet done actually, because the issue is that most of these meters accuracy itself, while they connected the meter, it's not a problem from our end, but the meters themselves, they are not showing accurate or they were not completely connected. So we are still working out that part. Maybe in the next few months we'll be able to do that. Then I can actually have a daily report that what is the total and what is the individual. Is there any gap? Is there any difference? So that's a good suggestion. We'll try to work on it. Yeah. So shall I end the session here? Any other point? So the now based on this, your now work is to again search in YouTube. There are several videos which shows, which teaches you how to learn MySQL. Don't go for any advanced MySQL like joining of tables, all this thing. Just within one table, how to find the maximum, how to find the minimum, how to find the difference. Just a basic thing like that. How when a certain value is exceeding. In fact, I have one. Slide here, I will show that. See, data analytics based on building monitoring system. Okay, so alerts. Can you go for under voltage alert or over voltage alert? Identify where power failure happens. So you have the power values, right? Whenever power jumps to 0, that means there's a power failure. So that you can identify, or excessive consumption at each circuit. You can define a certain consumption, and if it is exceeding, you can generate email, things like that. Break-even analysis, normalized consumption pattern, benchmarking. Now, all this analysis can be done based on your data. So these are only some examples, but many more can be done. Yeah. So with this, I think I'll conclude this session. So please take your time and learn this particular MySQL. It will be not only for this particular project, for your rest of the life, it will be useful because you are going to come across several databases all through your life. So knowing query language is very useful for you. Okay. So with that, I'll end this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.